We already know that KJP, Karine Jean-Pierre, is the worst press secretary in history. That's not news. As she would say, as you all know, she's terrible. And as you all know, we're going to continue to tell you how terrible she is, like you've heard and like we've been doing all along. She's going to fill this press briefing with so much BS, it's going to make you sick. However, she's going to lose her job soon. So I'm going to take this opportunity as one of the few. We only have a handful of these left. So let's do this. Welcome to the Doug TenNapel channel.
At this point, with 2 months left in the administration, does the White House see a real value in President Biden directly engaging with members of the press?
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Oh, yes, of course. What a terrible, this is going to be terrible. This isn't terrible yet, guys. By the end of this thing, I really should put a number at the bottom of the screen for a suicide hotline.
Look, I think we have worked really hard, and I hope you all have seen this too.
Don't tell me. I hope you all have seen this. That is so passive aggressive and projecting. There's going to be all those things where she's telling you what she knows you ought to have seen or you have seen. It's passive aggression. I don't see why she thinks this stuff works on people.
Make sure that we brought back the norms that was taken away from our predecessor on how we engage with the press.
Oh, okay. So whatever Trump took away, now you brought in this new norm with engaging with the press. Trump engaged with the press all the time. By the way, they didn't ask for Biden to come in and agree with them. They just want access. And Trump gave them access. They didn't like the access, but he gave it to them.
The president respects the freedom of the press. And he actually enjoys engaging and going back and forth with all of you. And that is something, and he's done that extensively.
Yeah, he's done it extensively, as you all can see. Wait, she's going to fill up a lot more details here. That's not the end of the answer.
And that is certainly something that he's going to continue to do.
You know, like he's been doing, he's going to do it again. But why would she be asking the question if that's something that he's already done and he's going to continue to do? This is like, these are words that don't offer any new information.
We have, less than 60 days, I think you just said 2 months left. That is plenty of time for the president to continue that engagement. He will.
Continue. It's going to keep going a whole lot, as you all know.
And, this is something that we respect, bringing back the norms, working with the White House Correspondents Association, making sure that we have that healthy back and forth with the press corps. And so we believe it is important when the president engages with the press.
She didn't ask if you thought it was important. She meant, do you believe it's important enough for him to do in the first place? Because they don't believe he did it.
He's done, I believe, more than 50 interviews just this year alone. He's taken hundreds of questions in his back and forth with all of you.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry, Karine. We didn't realize that. We revoke the question, even though he did those 50 interviews probably in the first 2 weeks of the year.
And that's going to continue.
If all of that is true, why on a 6-day foreign trip where the president obviously had a robust American press corps traveling with him, did he not have a single engagement, whether it is a press conference or maybe just speaking on the tarmac or really anywhere where he took questions from the press? Okay,
so now she nails her. If he values it, why did he not do it for 6 days on this foreign thing? Probably because they had him in his weird cryo chamber with all these pipes and things and chemicals going in and out of his body, where they also implant, when his ghost leaves his body, they have to grab it with a special machine that can capture supernatural floating entities and put his soul back in his body to keep him from going into the white light.
I mean, as you all just stated and wrote about, the G20 and APEC was his last opportunity to deal with some of these world leaders that he has built a close relationship with.
Please don't offer us more details on the world leaders and his close relationship. That's not what the question is. We're not asking for you to just go down a rabbit trail and fill in frabba jabba detail.
Has some of them he's known certainly more than his almost 4 years in this office. And so he truly wanted to spend time engaging and listening, having that one-on-one engagement that the president believes in.
He believes in it, and as you all know, do we all know, as you guys have all continued to see?
And trusts in. And so he wanted to spend time doing that And so that's what you saw the president do.
Oh, you're right. That is exactly what she saw President do, was engage in that media that she respects so much, which is why she asked the question, why was he on a 6-day international junket with the press on Air Force One? And he did not have any question answer sessions.
And I get it. I get that you all want to hear from the president. I get that. I understand that. And I'm not saying that you won't. You will. He will certainly continue to engage with all of you. And it is. When I say it's something that he actually enjoys doing, it is. He enjoys having the back and forth with all of you. And that's going to continue.
Yeah, he enjoys it so much that he never does it.
Just to be clear, you mean the explanation is that he, on this trip, was extra busy meeting with world leaders because this is one of his, last big
what I'm saying is, as you know, this was one of his last opportunities to speak to many of these leaders. There were 20 leaders at the G20, more than 21.
Please quit doing details on the 20 to 21 leaders. Just admit that he didn't talk, that he did not have. Can you imagine being a journalist having to write an article based on this interaction? She's sitting there going, so to summarize, what was the reason that Biden didn't give, because he valued the time with those 20 leaders? And Karine just goes on and on with details. There's 21 leaders. And he met with the leader of Mexico, and Mexico really likes jerky. And he said to himself, how much jerky should I eat with the leader of Mexico? And that's not even the question they're asking Karine Jean-Pierre.
Or about 21 leaders at APEC. And so he wanted to spend that time certainly doing what he normally does at these conferences, obviously, but also, speaking directly to them as one of his final times as president. And again, putting that aside,
she's just stretching this baby. Stretch, baby. Stretch it out. Karine, you can get through this press conference by adding so much padding. It's really weird because this is the administration where the most padding has been added between Karine Jean-Pierre and Kamala Harris, with two people who cannot communicate.
I think your question was, do we believe that he should engage some version of that? I apologize if I'm not quoting you directly. Yeah, we think it's important for him to engage with the press. He thinks.
Oh, okay. New information. He thinks it's important to him to directly engage and communicate in a way, by the way, that he has not been doing. Because if he had a press conference and actually had to answer questions, it's a horror every time. He can't speak and he can't think. And they really literally feel like sending Karine Jean-Pierre out and doing this giant cover up, this giant smooth over, which they've been covering this guy up for 4 years. And he loses an election because of it. He got replaced because of it. And Kamala lost an election because of their lies. And now they think they're going to smooth it over. That's their parting shot to you, is we lost and we're going to lie on the way out.
It's important to engage with the press. And that's going to continue. It is. You will hear from the president and have an opportunity to do those back and forths that you normally have done with him.
And now, if you'll excuse me, I have to drive my car off a cliff. This is the Doug TenNapel channel.